when you go to hook up with someone and that's like your intention to start with, and then after you hook up with them, maybe you're like, okay, like I kind of like them, like I want to keep hanging out with them, and then you like maybe put like a foot forward and make an effort or kind of say something like, oh, I want to see you again, and then they're kind of just like not really going for it, not really giving you much attention, not reaching out to you at all. That's a fucking horrible feeling. And that has happened to me literally, I think maybe the past like couple of people that I've talked to or been interested in, that keeps happening, and I'm just like waiting for someone to come along and just, you know, actually.
Well, I think that's it does suck when that happens. That is a horrible feeling, especially when you like kind of, when it's something that's new and you feel excited that you finally like somebody again. You're like, oh, I really want to hang out with them. And it doesn't even matter what you do. It's more so just hanging out with the person to get to know them more and hang out with them. And then when you ask and you kind of put yourself out there and make yourself naive and gullible, and then they're kind of just
vulnerable.
Like, oh,
Gullible.
You guys know what I mean. When you make yourself naive, gullible, and vulnerable, all of the above. And then they're kind of like, I can't. And you know it's not the thing that they're actually busy. It's one of those things where they're just like not fucking interested, and it's not worth their time. And then you just kind of feel like it's
such a fucking jab to the ego. It's just like, it definitely is one of the worst things. You're just like, what is wrong with me that they don't like me? Like, why aren't they interested? Like, wasn't it good when we hung out? Wasn't it good when we hooked up? I think my mistake is I go into things thinking like, okay, if this person has potential for me to actually like them, I need to learn to not sleep with them right away. Yeah. Because then it like, not saying that should be like, you know, if someone really is interested in you, it just shouldn't really matter when you decide to sleep with them. But also I feel like it kind of takes that wonder for that person away, and it kind of like ruins the game, and they're just like, I already got that from her. So like there's nothing to work for. For 8-9 years, that was my whole mindset, was like, fuck right away. Like, I don't care. I'd rather be drunk when I have sex with them the first time because I am nervous about it. And that was just always my mindset, that I wanted to get the sex out of the way, like first date, second date, first date primarily. Because to me, sex is like super important, and that physical connection is important. And I felt like I needed to know right off the bat if that was there or not, because I didn't believe in that whole waiting. I also didn't have a good track record of relationships at all. But like I said, this is probably like the first time that I didn't want to wait, but like I was forced to wait. And but no, it's definitely better to wait it out, because I also think it takes a really genuine person to like want to do that. And there's not many of those. No, and well, okay. And it's not about like in your mind like saying, it's not even about saying like, okay, I'm going to make a person wait a week or 2 weeks or a month. I think it's more so if you're just that type of person that you want to get to know a person for who they are before you just jump to fucking them. Which I'm not very good at. Like when I first started. I'm not either. When I got into, okay, that's the reason I say I feel like if the person actually is into you, it really shouldn't matter when you decide to sleep with them. Like, but I will say if it's someone who's a little more like play the game type of person, you kind of have to. Like if you give it up too early and like you need to like wrangle them in. Do you think that was Brandon's mindset towards me? What? Like I'm a hard to get person, so he had to wrangle me in. No. I don't know if he thinks like that. No, he doesn't. Like I don't think his brain's wired that way. It's just not. But when I first started dating my ex-boyfriend, who I dated for almost 5 years, which is why I say that it doesn't necessarily matter if they really like you. Literally, okay, so like the first date we went to fucking this puppy place to play with puppies, which was like the dumbest, weirdest thing ever. Yeah, that makes me uncomfortable when you told me that story recently. The second time I was imagining it in my head. It was so awkward and weird. It was like a GoPro. We went to play with them and they were like, sorry, we're not doing that today. Awkward. It was so awkward. But I already kind of knew him because like we worked together. But anyway, the second time we hung out, he was like, why don't you just come to my house and whatever. And we like watched TV for a while. We like had a little bit to drink. And we started making out, and I was just like, I looked at him and I was like, take them off. And I like pointed to my pants. And he was so startled because I don't think he was expecting that we were going to like have sex. What is up with these guys not knowing to rip the pants off themselves? I know. And I was like, take them off. And I fucking like pushed him on the ground and sat on that. And then he came in like 2 seconds because he was like, it's been so long since I've had sex. Aww. And then I know I'm like really putting people on blast here. Who cares? I love it. But then
So that's why I say, like, we ended up, that was the second time we hung out, and we ended up dating for so long.
I don't think
like, if someone's really into you, it shouldn't matter. Like, you should more so just, like, feel it out, and when the time feels right. But the time always feels right for me.
I agree. No, I think that what it comes down to with that whole, like, when to have sex with someone new, I think it's all preference. If you and the person you meet both are down, first date, do it.
Yeah, like,
and if
why wouldn't you?
Right. And then, for example, now that maybe, you know, years later, now that Claudia has a mindset of, like, maybe I should make people wait a little longer. Maybe she'll wait 3 days instead of 1 day. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe she'll wait a little bit longer, but not even because it's like a forced thing, but maybe just because she's trying to switch up a pattern that's been happening and, like, have something, you know, maybe more real. And it doesn't even, it's not even saying that's what makes something real or not, because you could make somebody wait a month and then they fuck you and then they're still gone. I think it's more so what you and another person or just that person has as a preference of, you know, when the right time to have sex is for both of you or for them or for you.